We can do to protect our pets. Veterinarian Jennifer Hennessy from the Sugarland Emergency and Critical Care Center is here to explain. We're so glad you're here with us today because that story is just a real wake-up call that the pets can't speak, so we have got to help make sure that they are labeled properly. What are some of your best bets of making sure your pet is safe and people know who they belong to?
Well, the best thing is a collar and tag, but we definitely have a lot of newer options, a lot of high-tech devices coming out that go beyond the basic tag. So better than nothing, use an ID tag, but I'd really recommend seeking other products.
I can't believe there is a GPS for your dog,
Yes.
and I've never heard of this, so I want to hear all about this. Our viewers are going to be surprised, probably. Spotlight, it's called?
Spotlight, there's several. This particular one is Spotlight. Great device. It's really a proactive device, so you have it on your pet, you can equip and set certain boundaries. So you get actually a text, an email, a notification when the pet's exceeded those boundaries, so if they've left your property, so that you can go ahead and look for them and track them down before they become lost.
So it looks like it comes on a collar and it just straps around. So
it's the device, and
mm-hmm.
they have it where you can put it on and off different collars, so if you change collars, you don't have to buy a new one. It is water resistant, so that's another thing to keep in mind, but basically the pet just wears that one device, and then everything is communicated to your computer and your phone.
What about those microchips? They've been around for a while. Does that work fairly well?
Microchips are really nice as your backup. They're a permanent identification, so basically the pet is then labeled. The negative to microchips is that you have to make sure to register the pet and the information. Less than half of the pets that are microchipped actually are registered in a system, so they have a chip, which is great, but when they come to us on the emergency side, we can't figure out who the owner is because the information is not in the system.
So if that's sort of a backup plan, what would be a better idea besides the GPS?
Really going with some newer smart tags, such as the Pet Finder tag. They actually equipped it so that it's the only tag technically the pet ever needs in its lifetime. You actually can call and update all the information, your name, your address, any phone number. You can include 3 phone numbers, and when the person finds your dog or your cat, they actually call one number, push a button, and it's automatically rolled into call you. So there's a very easy process for them to contact you, and you can update that information anytime.
It is so hard when you lose a pet, and it is so scary. So it sounds like something like that would really help you hopefully get your pet back quickly if somebody turns the dog or cat in.
That is the goal, to improve the return time and getting those pets back home safely. There are millions of pets that go missing every year, and only a fraction are actually reunited with the families, which is tragic.
If someone says, you know what, this is what I need to do, what's the best way about finding this equipment?
Really go to various websites such as finderproducts.com for this tag, the GPS site such as spotlightgps.com, but ask your veterinarian. They have different types of microchips, and they can explain the differences to you to make sure that you purchase the best one and you know what's required to keep that microchip current.
When you gave us those stats earlier about how many animals just don't match up to the chip, don't you think that that is a wake-up call for everybody if they do have a chip there? Do something about it. I mean, what
Absolutely.
a waste to have that available. It's so easy for animals to get away from us, and it's always when you least expect it.
Very much. And it's tragic. I mean, the family's at a loss when they lose that pet, and the pet may be found, but then the tragedy becomes that nobody can locate that family to reunite them, and oftentimes those pets end up being euthanized or surrendered, which is horrible.
Is the stuff fairly affordable?
It is. There's definitely a cost range, but basically one of the smart tags, for a routine tag, you pay between $5 and $10. A smart tag is really less than $20, around $19, so very good bargain. From there, microchipping, it ranges between $30 and $60, and then also the GPSs go from about $100 to $300, so it just depends on what you can spend.
Well, great information. Thanks for coming in from the Sugarland Emergency and
Thank
Critical
you.
Care Center and for taking care of all those animals for us.
Thank you.
Good to see you here.